Hello everybody, today I am filming a fortune teller makeup look. This will be perfect for Halloween and super easy. I am firstly going to prep my face ready for makeup. I'm just applying some lip balm and then I will move on to face moisturiser to make sure that my face is hydrated. In this tutorial I am going to start off with my eyebrows this time, therefore I am just setting a base ready to apply them over the top. This is just foundation. Of course I will be using the NYX Pomade in the shade Espresso with just an angled brush to fill in my eyebrows. I have done this so many times on camera that I'm sure you know the drill. You will of course need to repeat the same step on the other eyebrow. And they should look like so. Next, I'm just going to take a spoolie and run that through my eyebrows just to make them faded a little bit more and not so sharp at the beginning of the eyebrow. I am of course going to carve out my eyebrows using the Infallible Concealer by L'Oreal. I do this every time I do my eyebrows without fail. It just sharpens them a little bit, and if you've made any mistakes it erases them. It also highlights under your eyebrow, which I really like doing as well. I do also apologise if I do sound quite ill in this video or full of cold. That's because I am, and I am trying to power through it for this tutorial. Once the concealer is done, you will need to go in with any fluffy brush just to blend out the concealer. We will now be moving on to the eyeshadow, and I will be taking some sellotape from the corner of my eye up to the end of my eyebrow. I am definitely not very good at eyeshadow, so this definitely helps to create the eyeshadow look that I want for this video. Next, I am taking the shade Silk Cream from the Jaclyn palette, and I'm just using a flat fluffy brush to put that into my crease using window wiper motions. Next, I am using the shade 𝓁𝑜𝓋𝑒 from the Jaclyn palette again, just on a smaller oval detailed brush, again in the crease and in the outer corner, just to define the crease a little bit more. I am just going in with the first brush that I used, just to blend all the colours together and make sure that it looks seamless. And I am just going into the shade 𝓁𝑜𝓋𝑒 again, as one eye was just a little bit lighter than the other. Next, I will be taking the Morphe 350 palette and using one of the darker brown shades. This palette doesn't come with the names, so I will be unable to tell you, I'm afraid. But again, I am just adding more depth to the outer corner and blending that out. I felt that the colour we just used didn't really make much of a difference, so I am just going in with a much darker shade and just blending that out. You will come to realise that this makeup look does take a lot of blending. I'm definitely not very good at makeup. I'm not a makeup artist. I did just want to make the outer corner just a little bit darker, so I am going back in with the same shade that we have just used, just to darken that up a little bit more. And again, I will just be using the brushes that we used before, just to blend it all together. As you can see, it is starting to look a lot more darker and put together now. The next step in this tutorial will be to cut the crease. I am definitely not yet a perfectionist at this, but I will give it a go. I am using my normal concealer, the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, on a flat top brush, which I normally use to carve out my eyebrows anyway. And as you can see, I'm just starting in the inner corner and working my way into the middle of my eye. When you are cutting the crease, do not look up. If you look up, it will transfer onto the top of your eyelid. And again, we are doing the exact same thing on the other side. The reason I am cutting the crease is because we are going to apply a lighter colour in that area, and we are also going to apply some shimmer later on. So by doing this, it will make it stand out a lot more. I will then just take my finger and blend out the rest of the concealer at the ends, just so it blends into the eyeshadow and looks more seamless. I am going back into the Morphe palette, taking one of the lighter shades on a fluffy brush and just going over the concealer to fix it into place. I then decided that the eyeshadow wasn't quite dark enough, so I am going in with yet another darker shade on the outer corner of my eyes, as you can see, and I will of course begin to blend that out using one of the previous eyeshadow brushes. I am then going in with a clean, fluffy blending brush just to go over all of the eyeshadows and make sure that they are blended. I am next taking the black shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette in the shade Aris or Abyss, one or the other, I can't really say it. And I am just putting that into the outer corner of my eye and blending it out with a blending brush. As you can see, I am going in with the black, then blending it, then going in with the black if I need any more added. I am very happy with how this look is coming out so far. I haven't done eyeshadow in quite a long time and I'm actually very impressed with myself. I will now take this dark brown shimmery shade on my finger. This shade is called 24/7, and as you can see, I am just adding this to the middle of my eyelid. I am focusing it more there and not on the inner or outer corner. I am then taking this gold shimmery shade again on my finger. This one is called 𝓁𝑜𝓋𝑒. As you can tell, it is very, very pigmented. I absolutely love this eyeshadow and it does definitely bring the look together. And this is the eye look so far. I am now moving on to a pigment. This is a gold pigment from 𝓁𝑜𝓋𝑒. I am just wetting my blending brush as this will allow the pigment to stick more. And as you can see, I am just putting it on the inner corner of my eye and in my tear duct. This has definitely added a pop of colour to the eyeshadow and made the gold stand out a lot more. I think this makeup look is coming together so well. I am now done with the eyes for the moment, so I will erase the sellotape and also clean up any excess that I have gotten on my face, just so I'm ready to apply the foundation. Of course, the foundation that I will be using is the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation, and I will be applying this with a beauty blender. Everybody knows that this is my all-time favourite go-to foundation. I am next moving on to concealer and going back in with the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. This is definitely one of my favourites and one that I will continue to use. And of course, I will just use my beauty blender to blend in the concealer. The next step is one that I have not done before, and that is cream contouring. I will be taking the Revolution foundation stick in F13 just to use that to chisel out my cheekbones and on my forehead as well. And I will of course be using the RCMA No Colour powder to bake or powder under my eyes. Even though this is a Halloween makeup look, we still don't want any creasing. Moving on to bronzer, and to set the cream contour in place, I will be using the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Dolce. I do use this every day, as you are all probably aware. I will also be contouring my nose as usual, that step will not change. And I will next go on to defining the cheekbones as well as the nose with the RCMA No Colour powder. This step is no surprise to anybody. I do it every time I do my makeup and have shown it in previous videos. And leaving that to bake, I will move on to contouring using the NYX Matte Bronzer in the shade Deep Tan. I'm starting off with carving out the cheekbones, and then I will move on to the forehead, my jawline and my chin area. I am doing this as I think fortune tellers have quite a defined and sharp structure to their face. It's very defined and their features do pop, I feel personally. Even though this is something that I do every day, I do feel that it is necessary in this tutorial as well. Now that the contouring is done, I will just wipe away any of the excess powder, as it has been sat there now for quite a while. Moving on to highlighter, of course I am using the Ofra highlighter in the shade Rodeo Drive. This is my go-to and holy grail highlighter, and this is what I use on an everyday basis. I just absolutely love the pigment and the colour that it gives. As you saw, I did put this on the tip of my nose. As you can see, I am also now doing the brow bone as well as the inner corner of my eyes, just to make the eyeshadow stand out just a little bit more. And I will also be moving on to doing my cheekbones and the Cupid's bow. I have recently started to use a second highlighter just to give a more bronzed effect. Here I am using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Global Glow. I have had this a while and have been using it on and off for some time. Moving back onto the eyes, I will start to do the lower lash line, taking the dark brown shade that we used previously and a thinner, smaller brush. I will run this under my lash line just so it ties in with the upper lid. I am then going into the same shade and I will start to create a tear-like effect under my eyes. I have seen this look floating around on Instagram and YouTube, so I did want to recreate it myself. I think that this is a really good look for Halloween. This look is of course still super glam, but with what I am about to do, it does add an element of Halloween and creepiness into the look, which is definitely what we wanted. Now that we are happy with the outline of the teardrops, I am next going in with the Barry M Liquid Chrome highlighter drops. I am just adding this over the teardrop look just to make it a bit more glam and a bit more different. I feel that this ties in really well with the eyeshadow. It just adds something to the look and makes it all blend in really well together as one. I am next going back into the shade Creamsicle from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just adding this over the top to make it a bit more golden and shimmery, as you can see. I am also going back in with the pigment and putting that over the top. I'm basically mirroring what I did on my eyelid under my eyes as well. I felt that you could no longer see the black underneath, so I'm just going over with the black eyeshadow along the top. I will then be taking the Soap & Glory eyeliner. It's the Smolder one, I think. This will be going in my waterline top and bottom. Then applying the Estee Lauder mascara to my top lashes and my bottom eyelashes. This is just going to tie the whole look together. I will just fast forward this as it takes me quite a while to do mascara, and I'm pretty sure you do not want to sit here for forever. I will then go in with a second mascara. This is the Max Factor 2000 Calorie Mascara, which I have spoken about before. I am applying two mascaras because I won't be wearing false eyelashes for this video. I don't think that fortune tellers did ever wear eyelashes, I could be wrong, but I also do not have any to hand to wear with this look. To finish off this makeup look, I will be going onto the lips. I am using a red lip liner by MUA. And I will also be using the NYX Liquid Suede Matte Lip Cream. I do not know the shade of this, but I will link it down below for you in case you do want to purchase. I do really like this lip colour, and I think it ties in with the makeup look really well, and it brings it all together. So this is the finished makeup look, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed watching me recreate this makeup look. I'm really happy with how it came out. I purchased the silver jewellery from Amazon, and I already had the snakeskin headpiece. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I will see you in my next video.